Welcome back to another session of Get Caught Reading. In this session, we are going to see which is the appropriate medium or which is the effective medium for reading, and also which is the optimum way of reading to retain what we are reading or the knowledge that we want to get from it, the learning that we are going to get from reading. So, let us see what are those options. This is going to be a very short session, so let us dive into it directly and see what are the different mediums available for us. All of us know there is a physical book that you can read always, and there is nothing to beat it. So, then what other mediums are there? The next most important medium is audiobooks. People listen to audiobooks, and that is one of them. And then the third important way of reading in modern world is to use the e-readers like Kindle, iBook, whatever. When you read on electronic devices, yeah, I'll show. I have it, so I'll show it. So this is these are the main three kinds of things. But in the end, I will show you one medium which is very, 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 very effective in learning, specifically for kids or when you start learning at a very early age. Okay, let's get going. As far as audible books are concerned, it is very easy to use them actually. The most effective way, I will say, when you are traveling. For example, I was traveling to Virginia regularly every week, actually, up and down, 6 hours up and 6 hours down. And those hours I did not want to waste. That was the most important reason there. So then I went for a book service called, my son suggested, actually, it's called Scribed, Scribd. So the only book I read in that was that book actually. It was about the American Civil War actually. I learned a hell a lot of things from that book. That book reading would have been impossible actually. It is going so deep into, and the biggest advantage for me was I chose that book and it happened to be the exact route I traveled while reading that book. So I learned so much of history on the way, and at the end where they actually get the winning streak, it was actually the place near Virginia where I was living actually. So, and it is a very beautiful book. So what I'm trying to say is audible books are very, very good when you are doing such a thing actually. Even when you're walking for an hour every day, what else can you do? Otherwise you will be wandering over with some weird thoughts in your mind which is useless when we are walking actually. So some people may be putting music, some people may be listening to Bhagavad Gita, somebody. So it's your choice. Audible books can give you any kind of things, music, or it can be some classics, it could be some. I will not say if I were, I would do. If I want to do some flashcards, questions, answers, questions, answers, questions, answers, I could do that. I did that for the US citizenship examination actually. So basically, there are 100 questions and we keep on repeating them. 80% I knew always already. So I used to use that mechanism. So audible books have a great way of learning. The only drawback in that I saw was, or one of the main drawbacks that I saw was, there is no way to annotate as far as I saw in those days. There's no way to write down. There's no way to, because you're traveling already. Then only I'm talking about this. You can sit down and also listen to audiobooks and keep noting down, stopping, noting down, stopping, noting down. All that is possible. But looking into the thing at some point in time in the future, I don't know. Today there may be many ways to do it. I am talking about 2 3 years. I very rarely read audiobooks, but I don't think it is a bad medium. It is one of the best mediums I can tell actually. So we can read. That is one of the things. So okay, I'm only looking at advantages and disadvantages of each one of these. So definitely audible books. The advantages, your time will be utilized very nicely, but your noting down, annotations, highlighting, all that is little bit difficult when you are doing audible books. But knowledge wise, you will be gaining. The second thing is e-readers. E-readers are very, very powerful in some form. Definitely. Specifically when you do an annotation, or when you basically when you highlight something and save it First of all, you will know how many people are saving it. So that means that is something critical that you have observed while reading that piece of that part of the book. That is a small thing. That is one thing. But the biggest thing is there are apps today where you save your highlight. Once you save your highlights in different books, for example, in Kindle, I'll take Kindle. I don't use e-readers either, but I know all these things. I tried all these things. So you save, and there is an app called Readwise actually. You have to pay for it. See, nothing comes without paying. So you have to pay for it, but it helps so much a lot, even compared to reading regular physical books actually, physical books actually. So the it will, in some form, it will bring you back those annotations so that you can go through them, read them, follow them again if you want to go back. It refreshes you back on what you read in different books at different points in time. And that is a big win for e-readers, I will tell you. That is definitely the biggest win for e-readers. Now let us come back to our physical book. Man, I'm always showing that same book. It should not be such a boring thing. So let us see something nice. I'm not showing a book now, but there is something very nice journal kind of thing. And if I note down something, I can go back and check at some point in time again. When you talk about something, I want to refer, oh, I remember this in that particular book. So I can go and pull it out. Even that is difficult. You have to remember to pull it out actually. There's no way you can depend like a e-reader to get back your things actually. So your memory still works. See, that is where reading comes into the picture. I'm going to take another session where I'm going to talk about how reading is going to help only in books. In that session we'll only talk about book reading, and we will see how it helps. But in this case, as far as I can say, disadvantages are not, what I can say, these are not big things in this case actually, because you're reading and annotating anywhere and you're preserving it in your library, or you could have given it to somebody, but still you will remember that because you read through. The most important thing for reading from a book is you can see images and pictures which have been there in that book when it was printed. That will most often than not be missed in e-readers. And of course, in Audible, there is nothing that is not there at all. Most of the 18th century classics, specifically, have beautiful pictures drawn by great artists, which will take you back in time actually. Take any books. For example, let me take a book by Jules Verne. Jules Verne's books have beautiful pictures. Let me show you. Just I opened a page and see a picture. So these are you open any page, there will be pictures. You are missing all this. These beautiful pictures. Some, see, Kindle will have pictures. It's not that I'm not saying e-readers will not have pictures, but they'll not be so good. And also, when there are nice diagrams in the page, when two pages are open, you see nice flow diagrams depicted, charts depicted, maps depicted. Those things, no, it never comes close in e-readers. And specifically, if you are reading a real e-reader kind of Kindle kind of e-reader where the eyes are more important, which it says like a white paper and all that, you won't see. Color is not the way it is in the books. There are colorful books. So many things are there when you come to a real book. Nothing can beat a real book. Okay, take it from me. So the pleasure that you get from reading a real book is indispensable. Okay, let me come to the, I'm almost coming to an end. So let me come to the most important way of reading, and that is through word to word, audible communication. If not for my grandfather, who told me the Ramayana for 2 years, every day in the night he will tell me, today I know about it. 100 times I read Iliad and Odyssey, I will not be able to understand. Why? Because nobody told me. If I read the Ramayana for the first time today, or some other person reads Ramayana in some other country today, reading about bears and reading about monkeys and reading about somebody with 10 heads. See, Iliad is also like that. talking about gods and all that stuff, but I can't understand. I can't remember the names, but Ramayana, I know everything. How come I knew that? Because somebody told me that actually. So, reading to kids when they are young is the most indispensable or most best way for gaining or retaining information. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching and good luck. See you next time.